Hey, SEGways!
That's right, Side-Eye Guy is finally going to weigh in on Lee from Really Haunted. I'm pretty late to the game here, all the other debunkers have taken Lee on and this is just my first time. He's been a crowd favourite from the likes of Beardo, The Shape and Mr. Grey. So can I add to the mountain of debunks that Lee has accrued over the years from all these debunkers?
Probably not.
Maybe? I think so anyway, but we'll get into all of that soon enough. Before we get into this Really Haunted video, I'd like to briefly share my opinions of Lee and why it's taken me so long to do a video on his channel. Well, it's not really been for the want of trying. I've put Really Haunted up to the vote so many times, and he's never been even close to winning, for whatever reason. So today, I'm just going to cover the channel without the voting system, cause, you know, I just want to. Really Haunted really is one of the most ridiculous channels out there on YouTube. Lee has very little overheads, especially next to other paranormal channels, since he films from the comfort of his own home. Because Lee claims over and over again that his house is extremely haunted. Bullshit! And often this comfort extends to his own sofa or bed. So it really is about as comfortable as you could possibly get making a paranormal YouTube video. Lee has made some pretty insane claims over the years, and in doing so has rinsed many people off their hard-earned money. He has been grabbed, hit, pushed, pretty much attacked in every single possible way, but the funniest of his claims is that the spirit of Vlad the Impaler, you know, Dracula, apparently, according to Lee, followed him all the way back to England after Lee went on holiday to Romania, and Vlad followed Lee all the way back to his house and haunts him there.
Have you been, Vlad?
I'm not 100% sure if Lee's current ghost is Vlad the Impaler or if that whole bullshit storyline has been finished by now. All said and done, the bloke is flat out ridiculous. And I have a prediction. I think when Really Haunted no longer makes Lee any money, because there's no two ways about it, the guy is making money, he uploads videos all the time. And he'll average about 25,000 views or so. Which, you know, are not bad views if you end up uploading 3 times a week like Lee does. But anyway, when his channel no longer makes him any money, I think he'll just confess that it was all fake, and that he was trolling everyone. I mean, it's the only explanation I can think of on how someone can consistently upload such obvious, preposterous, fake paranormal bullshit. I would say Really Haunted is a parody channel, but it's just so bloody boring and dull and just nothing. Anyway, let's start watching Really Haunted's video titled Scariest Night Ever, Pure Horror in My Haunted House. Someone unfamiliar with Really Haunted may well expect big things from such a bold title, but even though this will be the first time I cover Really Haunted on my channel, I have watched his content before and I know every single shade of boring known to man, and a few new discoveries of boring is unique to a Really Haunted video. Keep an eye on the bottom right armchair. The armchair reclines seemingly by itself, but if we focus behind the armchair, we can see a curved black line that, to me, looks like it's ever so slightly moving. I'll zoom in so you can have a proper look.
Can you move it back for me? You show me how strong you are, how powerful you are. You've just done that while I was in the kitchen making a drink.
Lee has to make sure that he tells the camera that he was in the kitchen when the chair started to move by itself. And yes, this is Lee overcompensating, because he knows full well that people will call him out on his bullshit.
You've done it before while I've been on it as well.
Let me know in the comments if you think the black line is moving or not. I have no doubt that there is someone behind that chair and they are moving the chair to make it recline. And obviously, it's not a bloody ghost. Later, Lee shows the arrows on the side of the chair which you have to push to make the chair recline and sit upright. But of course, these buttons are on the wrong side of the camera. They're in a blind spot to where the camera is pointing. There is also a remote device which just so happens to also be sitting off camera. The black line that I think is moving is clearly not part of the chair, because we can clearly see a grey cover draped over the chair, where the black line is above.
Move the chair back for me. Do something while I'm actually watching you. You coward.
Why would you be calling the ghost a coward for not moving the chair on command? Big words here, Lee, but later in the same video, it's you that ends up sleeping on the floor of your own bedroom, quivering at the bangs that most likely your wife is making. But I'll be covering all that nonsense later in the video.
Move the chair back for me. Show me how strong you are.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
Right, just for show you.
I think Lee messed up here as well. He's challenging this entity to move the armchair, called it a coward, and all that cringy shit. Yet as he approaches the chair, before he even touches it, the chair moves. Apparently, again, by itself, to an upright position. But there is no reaction from Lee whatsoever. He just casually walks up to the chair, looking at it, must clearly see that the chair is moving, that it is doing the exact thing that he wanted this ghost to do to it, but instead of reacting in any kind of way, he just explains the functions of how this chair reclines. Lee has become so numb to faking his own shit that he has forgotten to act scared at the exact moments when he has to act scared. I cannot emphasize just how ridiculous this mistake of Lee's is. How did he not notice this during editing before he uploaded this video? No matter what you think that black line is at the back of the armchair, whether it is in fact someone hiding behind the sofa or not, this mistake of Lee's right here is undeniable proof that he is faking this whole chair moving nonsense. Because what's really happening here is that Lee is moving towards the chair. He can obviously see his wife or whoever it is behind the chair. He sees that they are moving the chair upright, and he totally forgets that it's supposed to be a ghost doing it. Of all the videos I've ever done, this might be one of the biggest, dumbest mistakes I've ever seen. Lee is using a lav mic, so we can hear every single one of his grunts, inhales, exhales, and panting. It's pretty gross to listen to, especially if you're using headphones.
Ew, that's gross!
I think I've explained this before, last time this happened. This is the button that moves it. In fact, let me just grab normal camera and show you. Can you do it again for me?
And of course, when Lee grabs his handheld camera, we inevitably have a cut, and surprise surprise, there is no one behind the sofa now. But I'm sure we can all agree there is more than enough room for someone to be hiding behind that sofa. And it's more than likely that that someone is Lee's wife.
Make the chair go back.
When I first watched this, I thought this was a wet patch on the chair, exactly where Lee's arse would be sitting, and it nearly sent me into a vomit-fueled frenzy. But thankfully, I then realised it's just a pattern off the actual cover. Even still, just to be on the safe side, you couldn't pay me enough to sit on that chair.
Whatever spirit has just moved that chair, do it again.
Well, that happened earlier, and you didn't give a shit then.
I don't mean physically move it across the floor, I mean make it tip back like you've just done.
Now, I do have to stress that I'm not 100% sure on this debunk. I mean, for sure someone is behind that armchair. I've got no doubt about that. But if we watch the 4-minute mark of this video, Lee does give us a glimpse of the back wall, and there is a black charger plugged into the wall. And perhaps that slight wobble that I can see on that black line could just be the artifacting of the video. I'm putting this out there because even though Lee doesn't really deserve anyone to be fair with him, I still want to be fair. However, I personally think the line is someone hiding behind the sofa, but let me know your thoughts in the comments one way or the other. Anyway, on with the rest of this mind-numbing, boring video, which I think I'm going to be skipping a lot of, because it is mainly just Lee looking right into the camera and talking shite.
Yeah, I weren't expecting that, to be fair. I've just started watching a film. Someone mentioned a while ago about watching like an Exorcist film. Not because it's scary as shit or, you know, the things that happen in it, but more for the, you know, religious aspect in it, like the the pros in it.
You lying son of a bitch.
Thankfully, this video is only 24 minutes long, which as ghost hunting videos go is pretty short, but Lee makes me feel every single second of this 24 minutes, so it ends up feeling more like a Paranormal Files length featurette.
Yeah, I think that's happened once before. Could be wrong.
The chair doesn't move again, so let's just skip a whole bunch of this video because my god, it's so fucking boring watching Lee's massive head right up in the camera. Cause he just talks bollocks and drags the video out till eventually he just has a little sit down on the sofa just waiting for the banging.
I've just seen some like walk past window from there to there. Bangs.
Thanks for explaining what those noises were, Lee.
Bangs, bangs, bangs,
We'd be lost without your narration.
bangs. Right, both doors are open. Pause teller.
I don't think those doors were open when Lee first says the doors are open, because there is no change of light or shadow casting from behind that armchair. Even though it's dark outside, I still expect some kind of light or shadow change to be in that area. We don't actually hear the doors open either, but I believe the only audio we're getting is from Lee's lav mic, so maybe it won't pick noises up from a bit of a distance. But even still, this is all just such obvious fake bullshit. I think Lee just opens the doors when he cuts back to its handheld camera.
Just now, like I've just seen some walk across there. There was bangs at the door, and then both doors opened.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
So I've basically seen it go from over there past the window, and that's when I've heard the bang.
I'm already bored, let's skip ahead to Lee's next scene. Wait a second, this sounds familiar. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was Billy O.T. The winds blew up, her bow dipped down. The blow of Billy's boys blew. Soon may the Willow Man come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. I bet before you clicked on this video that you didn't have Side-Eye Guy singing Weller Man on your bingo card, did ya? Oh god, no, Jesus Christ, Lee, come on! Nobody needs to see you in your boxers!
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I don't want to go out. It's from overnight.
Boring.
This banging is becoming like a problem.
More of a problem for your neighbours, I'd say, providing this isn't all just overlaid bullshit.
It definitely knows that I'm on my own. It seems to thrive off it.
Lee is definitely not alone, and I am not talking about any bullshit nonsense ghosts keeping him company in his fake haunted house.
Show yourself.
Yup, Chuck. What? Took word. I gotta admit, I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm way too southern for this.
I hate these fucking southern fairies.
Hear him whispering.
You're a dirty scammer.
That has just freaked me the hell out.
The number of years Lee has been getting freaked out by now, you'd have thought he'd just move out. I'm pretty sure he could afford to move home too. As I mentioned earlier, Lee would be making a pretty penny from his YouTubing. And I hear he gets a fair amount of donations too. Because somehow, for some reason, people actually believe this crap.
Someone mentioned that they don't, hear the whispering and stuff.
I wonder why.
But not everybody seems to do. We get people from time to time who said they hear the whispering, but I've always thought that it was, you know, like in my head, like I'm going crackers or something like that, but...
A very common thing with Lee is that he wants to make his audience feel sorry for him. This is a common trait with many ghost hunters. Sympathy equals donations.
My bottle's gone. Stop banging.
Can't the ghost just walk through the door? I know Lee's a big fella and all, but leaning against the door seems kinda pointless when faced against a ghost.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
As an atheist, I do wonder if any Christians are watching this if they get pissed off with Lee's nonsense with using the Lord's Prayer as a means to fake his content. Christians, does this actually annoy you, or is it really not that big a deal? Bloody hell, Lee's missus must be getting sick of having to bang on the door for God knows how long.
Is there any beings of light here with me? Any angels of God?
You do know what an angel is, don't you?
Are there any positive spirits around me now?
I'm positively done. There's still 5 minutes left, but I'm out, I'm done, I've had enough. It's just so boring and the same old samey same bullshit. And in all honesty, it's actually pretty challenging finding humour to make jokes about Really Haunted. More so than most other channels I react to anyway. Because it really is that boring. Anyway, this is the end of the video. I've finally covered Really Haunted and I highly doubt I'll ever cover this channel again. So, on that chipper note, if you like this video more than I clearly did, please like and subscribe. Right, I'm off to rewire all the electrics in my house with just YouTube videos as guidance. Ta very much, cheerio!
Channels on mine. With a wink and a laugh, he'll make you feel alive.